Oh, shit. Okay. Hopefully that works. Alright, there we go. Whew. Take a deep breath first before I even get into anything. Whew. Ciao. What up, what up, what up? Yo. It's your girl, Sharonda. And I'm back. And I'm something. I say something because it's been a lot of shit that's been going on since I posted my last video, and I've stopped making videos long before what has happened, but I've been wanting to get back into it, but life had other plans for me. My son died 5 months ago, and it's just been one of those things that's just teaching me a lot about myself and a lot about life in general. And man, I don't even know like where to start, but I got some tissue in case I cry and shit, because it's just so deep. And my son was just such a lovable, wonderful boy. He got hit by a car. So it's just like, it crushed me in a different type of way. Because it's just like, he has so much more life to live. I had so much planned for us. Like, he really helped me to take the reins of my life. Like, just taking control of myself, just focusing on myself and controlling myself and making sure I keep myself together instead of trying to control other people. Because even when I've lashed out as a mother, I realized I asked myself, like, where have I felt like I've lost control that I have to take it out on my child? So like, I would always apologize to him and just let him know, like, when he's seen, when he's heard, when people are overreacting. Like, just because we're adults don't mean that we know everything, and it doesn't mean that we right all the time, and it doesn't mean that we always make the best decisions. However, you can right your wrongs and you can correct yourself. I feel like it was a point in time when I was really immature, and I was just consistently putting myself in fucked up situations, and people were doing things to me, and I'm just consistently blaming them. And it's not to say like they weren't bogus, but it's just like, now having the sense of self that I have, it's just like, I shouldn't have put myself in unfavorable situations. And keeping myself accountable now looks like putting myself in spaces where I feel loved, where I feel safe, where I don't have to dissociate, where I can just be my complete self, and it's just, instead of just feeling like this isn't good for me, especially because like when we go out into the world, we might have times where we have to dissociate in order to keep ourselves safe. But I want to keep those instances few far in between. And me and my son just cultivated so much love, and that's what I want to push. That's what I want to put out to the forefront, because none of us are exempt from tragedy. And, people have commended me for how much I've shown a lot of just strength and just vulnerability and transparency and openness. And people just like, I don't know how you're doing it, especially with losing your child. And it's just like, when I first became a mother back in 2019, because my son was born October 17, 2019, my Brick Squad baby. My grandfather died a couple months later. And that was his first great grandchild, and I'm grateful he got to meet him. But in that time, I had quit my job too. And it was the best thing I could have did for myself, because I was still on maternity leave, and I kept extending, and I just said, fuck it, I'm not going back. And with that, it put me in a position to just understand grief, because I had lost so many people before that. And you know, it got to a point, like back in like 2020, I was tired of my own shit. It was just so much bullshit happening in my life, and it's just like, why is all of this happening to me? And it's like, is any of this in my control? I'm like, is it everybody? Like, and that's when I was like, oh, I'm putting myself in this position to deal with this. I don't have to take that. So I started taking my power back. I started recalling my energy back to me. I started pouring that energy into myself. And it is taking years. Like, I feel like I'm finally who I was really trying to be back in 2020. I am her now. And I'm grateful for who I was back in 2020, because I needed her, but I have to let her go with love. I have to let every version of who I was a year ago, a month ago, a week ago, yesterday, I have to let them go with love. Like, I can't put myself in a position where I'm being unkind to myself. I'm not showing myself love and softness even when I mess up. And that's why it has propelled me in a direction to want to be more intentional now, because it's just like, if I'm raising hell, it's because I'm well within my right to raise hell. You feel me? But sometimes we'll put ourselves in sticky situations that we don't necessarily want to be in, and we be crashing out and shit, you know? And we don't really necessarily want to be that. So you just got to get to a point where you get tired of your own shit. And that's what it was for me. And I just started learning how to properly grieve and just show up for myself better and understand myself better. And, you know, I started righting my wrongs and correcting myself, because even when my son was first born, it wasn't the best for like that first year. Like, it was a lot of turmoil, but me and my child's father, we got it together, and we have such a healthy co-parent relationship to this day. That's my dog. Like, I don't feel no type of way. Like, you know, it's all love, because my baby was crazy about him. My baby loved his parents. Like, he was equally a mommy's baby and a daddy's boy, and I loved it. It was amazing. And again, that's what I want to push out into the atmosphere and just show people, like, you know, you can be a rose from the concrete, and you can really put yourself in a position to win, even when you got a few bumps and bruises, and you're not necessarily, like, you haven't always been on the most righteous path. But you got to get to a space of surrenderance. Like, you know, when I got the phone call, I'm hearing them saying, like, they did everything that they could. Like, you just got to get to a space of just, like, surrenderance. And it's just like, okay, now I have to show up for myself in a different type of way, because my child is gone. And I learned when I lost my grandfather 4 years prior to this, was you have to grieve parts of you that existed with them in your life. So you not only grieving the loss of them, you grieving what you thought your life would look like. Like, you know, you have so many plans when you had your kid. Like, I love being a mom. I prided myself on being a mom. I adored him. Like, and you have to put yourself in a position to adjust. Like, I almost committed suicide going through postpartum, and I remember going viral from opening up about going through postpartum. I remember people was judging me because I got up and did my makeup and got myself together and shit. But I'm trying to show people that you just don't know what type of battles and storms that people be going through. And I remember it was just so much going on. You know, people talking shit, because like I said, my situation wasn't the best. So of course people running their mouth about what's going on within the confinements of this situation with my son, and, you know, the paternity of his father and shit. So it just got to a point where it's just, it sent me into a shell of myself again, until I got tired of my own shit. And I said, you know what, if these people gonna talk, I'm gonna really get them something to talk about. And I really just started tapping to myself in a different type of way. Now, again, I wasn't perfect. I still was, I'm building these healthier habits, but it takes a while to let go of negative shit that you don't even perceive as negative because it's been getting you by for so long. But then it's like you get wiser, you want more for yourself, and it's just like, damn, I gotta let this go. And then sometimes you realize you let some shit go and you just like, damn, I should have been let this habit go, you know? And it was like I was just putting myself in a position, like, it got to a point where I was abstaining from sex. Like, I was literally just putting myself in a position to just focus on me, motherhood, working out, getting me together. Again, I still had my vices. I was going out, partying, dating, doing the usual, you know? But I dealt with so much turmoil in that time too, because I was giving so much of myself away to people, because I feel like I put so much up of myself from like 2019 to 2021. So when I really got back on my feet, you know, my son's father is in his life, you know, I'm doing better, I'm doing great. Like, you know, I'm being more sociable, I'm outside and enjoying myself, doing my thing. But it did put me in a position where it was just like, I'm starting to fall out with a lot of people because I've really been doing the work. And you don't really know how healed you really are until you really put yourself in spaces with other people. And it was just one of those things where you reconnect with people, and or you connect with people and you just like, something off, but I'm gonna keep giving you a chance, I'm gonna keep trying to vibe. And it's just like, then it gets to a point where it's just like, now we falling out. But it's just like, didn't mesh. So it's just like, I feel like I lost so much of myself with that. So then it put me in a space where it's just like, okay, God, is it me? You know? Like, let me sit down with myself. Let me sit down with God. Because I'm like, I'm falling out with every fucking body. And again, at the same time, I'm still a mom and I'm discovering myself. But then, you know, I put myself back in my bubble from like 2022 to 2023. Really put myself in the realm of just focusing on myself, tapping into my gifts, really focusing on motherhood and just myself. I will have times where I would be absent and I'm not dating. It's just me. I'm vibing, you know, I'm focusing. And then again, you go back and you reconnect with people because you feel like people growing and changing too. And this is what I just learned. When somebody is just for you, if something is just for you, it's gonna work. Period. Even the things that are difficulties and are challenges, you can overcome them. I learned that within motherhood. Like, I enjoyed the challenges that came with not always understanding my son, especially with him being nonverbal for the most part, because it was getting to a point where he was really getting good with talking, and I'm just like, oh my God, like, we really talking, we really chatting, we really vibing. And I'm just like, and he was so smart. He knew the planets, he knew the days of the week, oh my God, he knew the months. Oh, it just used to warm my little heart to just hear him count. He knew how to count backwards. Like, he was so smart. He loved his books, he loved to read. Like, he just talked when he felt like it. But he was just such a delight to have. And it was because he taught me so much about patience too. So it was just like, you know, when you just get to a point where you just like, you growing and you elevating, and it's just like, you can't take everybody with you, and you want to so bad. Like, but everybody not doing the work. And sometimes people will just say shit just to get back on your good side. And it's just like, when you let people back in and make you feel some certain type of way. And that's when I just realized that when it's supposed to work, it works. The challenges, you will come to a point where you enjoy them, like getting over those humps and getting those kinks out, because like it's growing pains for real. Like, it's been so much grief, and that's why I'm calling this video Grieving While Growing, because it's so much growth that can come from your grief, depending on how you look at it. Everything is about perspective. None of us are exempt from tragedy. I'm not the first person who has lost a child. It hurts dearly, but my auntie has had to bury 2 children. I know multiple women who have had to bury their children. So I'm not exempt. I hate that it had to be me. I hate that it had to be my baby. I miss him so much. But just knowing just how amazing he was has made me this woman that can sit here and speak with so much courage and so much faith. Because, you know, I know a lot of times when we go through shit like this, we tend to lose our faith. But this one, you want to increase it the most, because it's not God that abandons us, because God is not man. God is just energy. You just got to look at God like energy. When you understand that it's man who betrays you, because man, we have free will. God still gave us free will. People gonna do what they do. It's God who has come through for me in those times of despair and chaos. Like, yes, it is people who come through, but it's people who move in the energy of God. Listen, and if you don't believe in God, you better believe in yourself. And I feel like if you believe in yourself, you believe in God. Like, I gave birth. Every time I looked at my son, I grew his head. I grew his eyelashes. I grew his hair. I grew everything on him. Organs, teeth. Like, that's God. It exists. Not in the context that we may be used to, but whatever God energy is, energy just, because energy, God is just energy, because energy can't be destroyed nor created. It's about what you do with it. And that's what I'm telling you. It's about how you look at everything, and it's about your perspective more than anything. Like I said, none of us are exempt from tragedy. No matter how fucked up it is, no matter how much it knocks the wind out of you, we're not exempt from it. And we don't know when our day is going to come. That's why I say it's imperative to just honor yourself and your seasons. You're going to have your seasons, and give yourself that grace and that space to have those seasons. I've been able to honor these seasons because I'm being kinder to myself. I'm being nicer to myself, and I'm not dealing with people who are not being kind to me. You feel me? People be wanting to be up in your energy, but it's like, baby, I'm not dealing with you if I have to dissociate in order to be in your presence. It's not happening. I'm not doing it. I want to be in spaces where I feel safe. My nervous system can relax. I know that I am, I'm good. Because you're going to always feel safe with me. Like, and I feel like people are always drawn to me because you can tell that you feel safe with me. It's conviction behind how I move. I want to be kind to people. I want people to come to me and feel safe. And if we going to be locked in, it just has to be reciprocal. Because, I'm a kind person. So, I see people. It be people who need help all the time out in the world. And I'm always there to help. I don't ask for nothing back. And that's why I feel like God always bless me, because you just never know what just being kind can do to somebody. Because, like, even with my son passing, as tragic as it was, like, I didn't have to worry about nothing. Everything was taken care of. And funerals can really ruin lives and families and destroy families, especially with me losing my child the way I lost my child. Like, it has drawn my family closer together, and we've been reminiscing on the love. We've been just wrapping our arms around each other, like, and that's what it's about when you're going through moments like this. And it's about keeping that energy, because again, I've been moving in this space where I've just been in that energy, period. It's not even just due to me grieving, because I'm consistently grieving. Grief and love are just so intermeshed and intertangled. Like, I wrote that in my book. I ain't even got a copy over here right now, but yeah, I wrote it in my book. Like, I wrote my book I released my book in 2022. I've been working on it for like 2 years, and from 2020 to 2022, that's when I finally finished the last poem, and I was just sitting on it at the top of 2022. I didn't release it till June. And I just got the manuscript, and I'm like, I could really put this out right now. And I'm just like, I was just holding back. And there was just one point my back was just up against the wall. And I'm just like, I'm not really pushing myself creatively how I can. Like, why is you playing? Put this book out there. you found the resource where you could do it for free. Put that shit out there. You can always go back and correct it later. And I did. And I was able to talk about like how, you know, grieving my grandfather and the birth of my son just helped me understand how they go together and how they're just married to one another. And it's just about, again, your response to it. Life is always, it's either you look at life happening to you or life happening for you. And life is always happening for me, even in the midst of tragedy. Because even despite me losing my son, there's been so many blessings that's been coming my way that I've been having to re-examine myself and get myself together so I'm not fully triggered. Because, you know, when you are grieving and you do learn a lot of things, like, you know, it does get you to a point where you just like, damn, which way do I go? How, you know, like, how should I move? Like, and I've just, like I said, I just been moving in that energy of just making sure that I'm figuring myself out. I'm loving on myself. I'm showing up for myself. And yeah, that's all I can do. Because shit don't stop. So life don't stop. So we have to stop. And that's what I be telling people. Like, me getting more in tune with my emotions has allowed me to really go through life in a way where it's just like, let me take a breath, let me take a breather, and respond in an adult manner instead of just crashing out. Because I'd be well within my right to crash out with losing my child, but I would rather put that energy into myself and getting me together and getting my mental together and making sure that I'm okay. You know, I know people gonna make sure that I'm okay, but I want to make sure that I'm okay. And this is why I'm gonna continue to grieve and grow at the same time, because the shit don't stop, y'all. Long live my baby. I'm just so grateful that I was his mom and I just got to experience him. I miss him so much, but he always here with me. He right here. Oh, my friend's mom got me a blanket. Those pictures, he was so beautiful. So beautiful. Just so much love. Just so much love. But thanks for listening to me talk my sugar honey iced tea. I will be back because I want to get back into me and pouring into me. And I be doing my podcast and stuff, but it's nothing like being on camera and being in y'all face and letting y'all know how I really feel and letting y'all see my face so y'all know I'm okay. Because I tell people all the time, be sad for me, but don't be sorry for me. My son lived a great life, a full life. And living a long life don't always mean that you live a good one. So we gonna live it up for my baby. We speak life. We speak love. My Zaire Milo asks you. I miss you, Duty. See y'all later.